Welcome back to the WCS Europe Round of 16 Group A Premier League matches. 3 down, 2 to go. And boy, what a last game we've had. Claris is with me right now. Extraordinary game, really. I don't really know how to sum it up. It was just, what a crazy match. You think Snoot's got it in control. He's playing well. He's all good. And then suddenly, Harstam just says, you know what? No more mistakes. I am not going to make any more. I'm going to crush him with everything. I'm even going to make a mistake and build another warp prism, and I'm still going to crush him. So I don't know how you sum up that game, but great result for the Dutchman.
I think I would like to sum it up by saying he pretty much cut his legs off. I mean, the way in which Snoot normally approaches that matchup, he was never allowed to gather that momentum, and Harstam played it well. Like, again, it comes back to something Ben was saying, similar to how we saw our previous series go. You know, Harstam was playing the player as opposed to like just StarCraft.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He did that in the round of 32 as well. We know what the preparation he put into that. Played them really, really well. Admittedly, came through 2-1 on both occasions. But he's now got a legit shot at making the round of 8 in his first ever Premier League season. Already it's a terrific performance, but if he made the quarterfinals, that would just be crazy good, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty impressive, yeah. That would be really, really good for Harstam, who comes into Premier League as he does. It's pretty much like his debut appearance. But the opponents...
Yeah, and we're getting ahead of ourselves because there are still a couple of opponents left in his way, of course. They're going to play off right now, so let's take a look at the bracket and show you how things have panned out. At the bottom of the bracket, you'll be very surprised to learn that the #1 player in the world that is not of Korean origin is out of the tournament in the round of 16. That's right, Snoot is out already. Harstam advances in the lower bracket, and as we saw earlier on, VortiX and ForGG, both of Team Millennium now, have gone through to the upper bracket. They'll now play off for our first place in the group, and therefore top seed in the round of 8. So a very, very important matchup between these two Millennium players. You heard ForGG kind of jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, said, he's only been with us 2 days, it isn't really a team kill, I'm just going to crush him. But it is a team kill, and they've got to be thinking about that. There's even 1% of that in their mind when they go head-to-head.
I think there may be, yeah. But I think the most important thing to look at when it comes to this series as a whole is that VortiX approaches this matchup very differently to how Snoot approaches the matchup, for example. So whereas Snoot's kind of style is relatively robotic and things like that, like we were mentioning before, VortiX isn't afraid to take liberties.
No, absolutely not. VortiX, in his recent run, has been very good. We saw him reach round of 4, of course, in Season 3, round of 8 in Season 2 last year, round of 16 in Season 1. He went up every season. This year, he's kicked off with a round of 8 appearance, which means presumably it's round of 4 this time round because, you know, by the same token, he's got to improve every time. But he's reached the round of 8 3 out of the 4 seasons we've had previous to this one. Mm-hmm. Is this about to be the 4th time out of 5?
It could be, it could be. The thing is, though, is that if we look at how the group has gone so far and look at how ForGG was playing against his previous Zerg opponent, Mr. Snoot, the way he did that was really, really impressive and something that I wasn't quite expecting to come out from ForGG. But again, got to come back to what Ben said again. You know, it was the player that he was playing, not exactly.
Sure. ForGG, on the flip side of this, 2 round of 32s, a round of 16, and then all the way back to Season 1 of last year, since he advanced past the round of 16. Yeah. That occasion, he reached the semi-finals, of course. We are into the map vetoes, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. Their head-to-head record's very interesting, actually. VortiX leads 3-1 in matches, 6-2 in maps. Is that going to play on ForGG's mind a little bit? We've spoken a little bit about his TVZ, and we've said that it's not as good as his TVT. We know that, but still, Aligalat counts it at 60.5% TVZ. It's still strong. Yeah, still strong. And I guess across the entire WCS system right now in 2014, his stats in TVZ are actually looking the best out of all of his matchups. If I look directly at my statistics collating, so he's looking pretty good in the matchup as of late. So we've seen Way Station, Merry-Go-Round, and King Sejong Station gone. 3 fairly predictable maps. The 4th one is always a little bit tougher, though. Are we going to see Alterzim dropped out of this one? Or are we going to see Habitation? Yeah, well, it is Habitation. So Alterzim, Frost, and Overgrowth. 2 of the most popular maps, and one that's been hanging around, shall we say, because it was one of the few maps that came over from last season. One of only 3 maps, in fact. Habitation and Frost being the other 2. So any thoughts on the map? lineup so far? We're going to have Alterzim first, actually.
Well, I don't mind getting that out of the way in this series. Everyone is favouring Frost and Overgrowth as the two maps that are the staples as of late.
Do you think that VortiX has looked at that and gone, Alterzim, yeah, you didn't do that too well against Snoot, I'll have some of that?
I don't think so, actually. The way in which they play out the matchups, both of them, VortiX and Snoot, it's a very, very different way in which they both do it. VortiX is the kind of guy that when I look at him in this matchup, he is far more the aggressor and trying to do some damage where he can, really trying to catch his opponent off guard more so than not. So Alterzim Station... Stronghold.
That's a new one.
Yeah, let's not talk about that one.
Sejong Stronghold.
That one, Alterzim Stronghold coming in as our first map. I'm not surprised. Kind of want to like get it out of the way and then get onto the other maps. But still, it does provide a lot of room for VortiX to do what he wants to do, which is nice.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Quick break here at the Terran table, as we're calling it now, of course, because DeMuslim has joined us, and he's not really a Terran, but we'll let him off. We all have our faults, don't we, Kalaris?
I guess.
Yeah. We are going to go to our commentary team. But before we do that, I just wanted to clear up a couple of questions that come in from the live thread on Team Liquid. If you aren't following the live thread, it's the very best place to follow the games. Trust me, the guys in there fully knowledgeable about StarCraft. There's plenty of debate and argument going on, and plenty of good stuff in terms of the match following us as well. It really does help you if you're new to the game. So pop along to Team Liquid, find the live thread for WCS Europe, round of 16 Group A, and join in on the conversation. A couple of those conversations that were taking place. One was, why have you guys changed to using the losers game first? Really good question, perfectly valid. We haven't really told anyone why we're doing it, so let me just explain. Basically, it's for your entertainment. We feel that the winners match should be later in the program, which is the second to last match, and also it's slightly better for the two players in the upper bracket as well, because they both then get a break before the grand final of the upper bracket. That's it, simple as that. No hidden agenda. The other question was for DeMuslim, and he'll probably be able to answer this himself, but one person said, is DeMuslim retired now? Let's find out with our commentary team of Apollo and the Devil Terran.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and welcome to the casting desk. So, DeMuslim, it seems you have a question to answer.
I'm not retiring, not anytime soon. No, I really love playing. I'm just doing casting on the side. I was going to Home Story Cup. They asked me, hey, do you want to come cast this? I was like, in between DreamHack? Sure, why not?
So you're going to DreamHack too? Are you playing at DreamHack, are you?
I am playing at DreamHack.
There you go, bit of both. Of course, DeMuslim was a WCS World Championship Series Premier League player this season. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that can continue on in the next seasons to go, because you might pull a Todd on us and advance further than expected and end up playing instead of casting.
You guys gave me a hard group this time.
We did. We're really sorry about that.
It's okay. Like, you know, Wellmoose are really cool. Nurture not so much, but I was with Stefano as well, you know? No, Nurture's cool. Nurture's cool.
A difficult group you played in, and today's a difficult group as well. And we're about to enter the winners match of the first group in the round of 16. And as Red Eye mentioned, this is the fourth game, but the winners game. And we'll be going straight over to the decider, the loser of this versus Harston after. But for now, VortiX versus ForGG. Team kills out the way because it's not relevant, because, you know, VortiX only just joined on. What do you think about this matchup between these two?
Well, first of all, did I think that these guys are going to be in the winner bracket final of this, group? It was really hard to call, but VortiX, he kind of obliterated Harston. But ForGG against Snoot, I really did think Snoot was going to win. So I thought we were going to see
Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah, the Zerg versus Zerg, the VortiX against the Snoot. It was like the old Stefano against the Nurture, and it still is like the old Stefano against the Nurture because they never play, or at least you never see them match up.
Yeah. I agree with you. I definitely thought that would be our winners match, but it is ForGG who, for me at least, I definitely looked at this group and I said, all right, I think Snoot's going to be first or second and VortiX first or second, whatever. And I didn't believe in ForGG, but the more I thought about it, the more I started to believe in him with the recent changes of Terran and the Korean meta where there's a lot of new Hellbat builds coming out. I thought there could be, I think that he's probably put in a lot of practice against Zerg and asked around for a bit of help from people to prepare for today. And so far, so good for him finding this winners match. But we'll see if he can continue that, because it's now time to tackle another very difficult Zerg player.
And a brand new teammate at that. This is like old against new of Millennium.
It is.
But they're both really freaking good, so it doesn't really matter who wins.
They're both amazing. But VortiX is a player who's been in the round of 16 every single season. ForGG's had his ups and downs, been out in the round of 32, been to the top 4. You know, he's done a lot, but not been able to get really high results all the time. But we'll see if he can start that in Season 2 of the WCS.
He's certainly very, very good.
All right. We'll because neither of us usually do the intros, we'll do one at a time. You go first.
All right, so I'll start. So spawning in the southwest of Alterzim, we do have our Red Zerg VortiX.
Oh, that was good.
That's not bad, eh?
That was good.
Wow, I'm impressed with myself.
That was good.
No, glorious.
And up to the top left as the Blue Terran player, also on Millennium, it's ForGG.
That was pretty solid too, actually.
You know, I like to think mine is just average. It's not super good, it's not bad, it's just always consistent. I'm a round of 32 announcer.
Nice. I'd say at least round 16. That's pretty solid.
All right, we actually had a discussion off camera and off microphones about Alterzim. Alterzim, for me at least, is a very difficult map to approach as a Terran player against a Zerg player, but it was not one of the vetoes that ForGG's used now or before against Snoot.
Yeah, against Snoot, we saw, or in fact, just talking about that, like, what did he favor, or what did he choose to favor instead? King Sejong, like, he wants to get rid of that in Way Station, so I can understand Way Station. It's not a map that anybody's particularly fond of, but the Sejong Station, I'm a little surprised about that, because a smaller map, it's one that you don't have to worry about creep spread, denial, like, all over the map, but if he doesn't feel comfortable on it, then there has to be a reason. But Alterzim, against Snoot, we saw he wanted to like proxy a command center randomly on the map, and then tried to proxy a factory as well, and it just got screwed up. So without those shenanigans getting totally found out by his opponent, maybe he might find himself favorite. Like, well, he does favor this map, but he didn't get away with it last time.
Look at his build this time. Command center first and then gas. Did he do this exactly the same last time? With the gas first?
No, not with the gas first, I don't believe. Because we kind of saw like 2 SCVs run off to try and make like... We thought it was going to be like a proxy 2-racks afterwards, but, you know, no, he did not do this.
Right, so interesting setup here. And this is going to allow him for the faster factory here, and therefore faster Hellions out. Does this turn into some potential timing here, or does he start to build up towards the starport, the armory faster in his later tech?
If I had to call this now, I'd say we're going to see a Cloak Banshee follow-up.
Yeah.
And some insane aggression from ForGG. Like, I saw him very recently against Solar in Fragbite, and he did this build into Cloak Banshees and stuff, and it's relatively hard to defend that third against the all-out aggression by your opponent. And ForGG, he micros very well, but one thing that he is exceptionally good at is just how aggressive he is. He's been known to have YOLO Hellions. Like, if he can go in, he will go in. He will deal damage. He's a bloodthirsty dude, and here, factory goes down. We will see a reactor follow up shortly once he hits 50 gas, but does he even make a Marine?
Nope. Doesn't look like it. A good thing for VortiX is that the Overlord has found him really fast here, which, you know, is unlikely to happen a lot of the times here on Alterzim, so he does have a good position for this Overlord early. He can start to adjust his other scouting patterns here to be able to get up to the top left and try to figure out what's going on. But there's the second gas, as you kind of predicted with the potential Banshee play, but we're just missing the starport and a switch up, which definitely could be coming when this factory finishes. Yeah, the second gas indicates, oh, there's no Marine to fend off these 2 links, so they are going to be incredibly annoying. He will have to just repair that reactor, hopefully, and he will get it done. But here, making a Hellion, then is he just... What's going on here? He didn't switch the buildings. Like, he could actually have switched the buildings, so... This is kind of weird already by ForGG, by the way. Yeah, it's decided to get a Hellion first and then 2 Marines. The reactor will survive here, just. Very much so, just. Yeah. Like, this is pretty ballsy by VortiX. Oh, whoa, that went really low for a split second there, but VortiX, he kind of knows what's going on. But he didn't actually have to, he could have switched the buildings, it wouldn't have like made a hole in the wall, so I was a bit surprised by that. But starport going down, and this has just made the tech lab way later, so that Banshee's way later too. So already VortiX is gained a few edges just from attacking that reactor. And unfortunately, with those 2 Marines popping out, which he saw, he can't really go in with the Overlord at any point because it's going to get gunned down before he even gets close to the main. So VortiX is completely in the dark here. He doesn't quite know what this is. Is it an armory? Does he even have a second gas, first of all? Is it a third command? So he doesn't know. So this is quite an important part of the game. VortiX is shot up with his Vespian guys. I think he took all 4 at once here. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, you'd be thinking he'd be going up to the lair quite fast, considering he doesn't really know what's going on.
I mean, one indicator is that he didn't build a Marine. Like, this is, I'm not going to say it's a popular build from CC first, but the fact that he didn't make a Marine, maybe he can assume that, hey, he's gone gas first. And he was also in frag bite as well. So whether he was watching the stream and seeing, that's nice, using the Hellion to bait another Hellion attack to finish off the creep team.
He's really delaying his lair here, and I'm fearing a little bit for these Banshees, because, I mean, fearing for the Queens, because of the Banshees.
With no Spore Crawlers or whatever, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's no spores, there's no lair, there's no detection. He decided to get Overlord speed to help him scout better here to be able to get in, but it's quite a way away from finishing. I mean, Hellions are already putting in pressure on the front door. He spent the gas on 1-1 upgrades.
He's spending a lot on upgrades. 1-1, Overlord speed, Zergling speed, getting quite a lot of Zerglings out. Lair starts very late, and this Overlord does have speed now, so he is going to see this Starport, does see it is cloak, so is this in time? I think it is actually in time, but he can't get drones down to that third, so he may have to just sack that third eventually.
This is a great start for ForGG here. He's building the Spore Crawl by his Evos, needs to get that down to help. No Banshees, well, there is one Banshee, sorry, on the left-hand side, but the Overlord gets picked off here, and this is bad, and is he going to go for it? No, okay, there's slings that to prevent that, but this is a fantastic start here for ForGG.
Nice around to stopping that Queen from getting up the ramp, and that's always annoying. Even the Ling's kind of getting blocked off there. Small Crawler means that he can't run into the main, but this third, he can't really defend this.
No, he cannot. And behind this, I mean, all the infrastructure for ForGG's rocking, but we do get a bit of a Lynx around here, which is pretty good, but there's a lot of Hellions, and with that Banshee still in the mix,
he's dealing a lot of damage, and these Hellions, I'm surprised they got cleaned up so easily, but no more Queens on the field, really, for, in fact, no Queens at all, so Injects are going to go down. Like, economically, he's suffering. Double armory behind this, another Banshee joins the fray.
Yeah. And he's been kept back, which is allowing ForGG to take that third base on position here. He's actually got the third command center there. He's adding on all his infrastructure. He's got double armory on the way.
Oh, and he made that third on the third as well. Like, really cheeky play by ForGG here, but this is something that he has done in the past.
Well, there are Lings escaping here, so he might be able to push this off for now, but he still hasn't dealt with these Banshees 9s on his front door. He's continuing to build Lings at this point, 14 additional ones with more Queens, and VortiX is spending a lot on not drones because he simply can't get to that third properly here.
Like, this is a lot of Lings coming out too. 48 drones against 51 SCVs, so this is insanely good for ForGG. If we look at that resources lost tab, it's not actually that terrible for VortiX, but the only thing ForGG's been losing is Hellions, which he kind of banked on that anyway. He is YOLO Hellion boy.
And he's got enough to defend his third base if there was a run by now. He's got these double upgrades kicking. There is a Spire coming in, so that is something to think about. I don't think there's an engineering raid down yet.
No, but he's got the factories coming in.
Oh, he does have it, sorry.
Double upgrades.
Yeah, there's overall fantastic setup here for ForGG, and the switch up over to the Hellbats here with the Hellion transformation upgrade not being an upgrade anymore. It's just there, an ability once the armory's done.
Oh gosh, all those Lings died, but the Banelings do switch in. Will they be able to? They do clean up the Hellbats pretty well, actually, but these Banshees have to run away. Still Lings, only Lings being produced by VortiX, so that SV lead.
God, 72 Lings!
63 Harvesters against 51 as well, like... ForGG, with this constant aggression, just constantly increasing his economy behind it too. It's the one thing that Zergs cannot do. You either choose to make battle units or you choose to make drones, whereas Terran, they can do both simultaneously, and ForGG taking total advantage of that.
And it's time for ForGG to put the brakes on. Be comfortable with the lead he's sustained.
Look at this too. 5 turrets going down for ForGG. He's also making Thors ready for that muta switch, so one step ahead at every point here ForGG is. There's
still a lot of units being made from VortiX and not drones though, so I'm starting to feel like he may try to attack in here with the units that he has.
Is that depot? Raised.
Look at this, still just units, just 12 mutas. Is he actually going to go back to drones in this game, or is he just going to continue to launch? He's got Zergling speed on the way. He may just try and bust in.
51 drones against the 73 of your opponent. I mean,
still units.
Even if you do break in, like, these Banshees can cloak. That's mutas. They're going to get shot down by turrets going up as well.
3 Thors are about to pop. There's turrets around that third base and SCVs to repair.
This don't look good for VortiX.
It doesn't look good, and he's really pushing towards this attack here. Zergling speed's about to complete. He's spending his upgrades from 2-2, which should be being built now on this. There's turrets everywhere, as you've already said. He does able to get one of these down at the back, but he won't really be able to bring down another one. He's going to attack at the front. There is already 2 Thors. There's 3 more about to pop out. There's Hellbats at the front, turrets and Banshees.
This doesn't look too healthy for VortiX at all.
With
I mean,
cloak, and there is no detection.
even the constant Banshee usage. And I mean, he's running in here. That's a big clumped up army by ForGG, but VortiX's army just ran into a wall right there. Really
yes, they did. It's kind of Mutilus left over, but there's more Thors popping out. Even if he kills that fourth, that's not important. He actually needs to knock ForGG off this third, and if not, try and get a kill from this position. This is a very bad economic and upgrade position for VortiX. And he's going to morph in some more units. He's going to try again.
He has to at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the first attack, is he going to blow up that fourth? He did kind of blow up that fourth. There's lots of Banelings again. The Thor's getting good shots off, though, this time. Or in fact, one does fall, but that's a good few Thors behind them. And constant Thor production. The economy didn't get touched at all, I don't believe there. Yeah, only 2 SCVs died, so 4GG.
And that took a while to build the Ling and Banelings, and
yeah, now he's droning it up.
yeah, and this is not a good thing, the Muslim.
This is not a good thing at all,
It's
Apollo.
not a good thing. He's quite far behind in upgrades, and what we'll probably end up seeing is a bit of a push soon from ForGG. He knows his opponent's crippled. He can finish up his fourth, go plant it down, and walk across the map, especially with 2-2 on the way soon.
The 2-2 is
position.
the 2-2 is huge. He's going to be out upgrading his opponent very, very shortly, which is great. He's not against Swarm Hosts. Like the constant Banshee production and keeping them alive, that's actually good for if your opponent makes Swarm Hosts later on when you do this 3-base push, given that you can just scan and fly ahead and kill them. But it doesn't even look like that's necessary here.
You think Mutilus can keep him back long enough, maybe? Or?
No.
He's
I
just
mean,
gonna go.
there is always that hope, but it's a hope at best, Sean.
All right, it's time for the Thor push.
That's scary.
Yeah, those Thors, 2-2 upgrades. There's going to be, I would imagine, streams of Hellions behind it as well, but it is Hellbats in production right now. Either way, this push with Banshees in the mix, it's 2-2 upgrades. VortiX is in trouble. It all came down to the Hellion Banshee, like you said, the aggression, the harassment, the consistent pushes and waves of units.
Yeah, VortiX just wasn't prepared. Like, if you know this is coming, that's an entirely different story, but he didn't really know until it was a bit too late. Like, he got the Overlord speed and scouted, but it was just that, too late. And now these mutas, let's see what they can do.
Oh man, look at the Thors. They just +2 just stand there without taking really any damage, and mutas are going to die pretty fast here.
They certainly are. That was not a fight that Banelings really want to take. Like, supply efficient GG is called, so ForGG takes a pretty convincing first game on the worst, like the map that we talked about that isn't favorable for Terran. But he made it look freaking easy.
Is it really time for ForGG to win a tournament? Is it time? Is it this season? Finally.
Do you remember when he first started playing StarCraft 2 and he's called Finn?
Oh man, what a bad ID. ODS Finn.
I mean, he was what did he win? He won an OSL, right?
Yeah.
In Brood War a long time ago as ForGG. Like, why would you change your name?
He beat Jaedong in the finals.
Was it really?
Yeah.
So this guy dates well back.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, that.
But is it a time for him to win a tournament? Well, he's definitely got the skills and he's got the work ethic too. Like, he practices all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And I even, earlier in this cast, I said, like, I got told by Chris, like, Huck, that in the OGS house, he was the guy that played like 2 hours before everybody and 2 hours after everybody. Like, he played all the time.
He's a machine, man. He always has been. He's a big machine. VortiX, on the other hand, is, to a certain degree, the opposite. He's a guy who's in school. he's a 19-year-old student in the university in Barcelona. So quite the opposite story, really. But still one of the best, no matter what.
There's something in that the blood of those Spaniards. Like, first Lustrom was amazing. Then you got his younger brother that comes up and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be one of the best in Europe too.
They don't have another younger brother. There's just one older brother.
An older brother. I think his name was like Ryo.
Yeah.
But he used to help them both out, actually. And he was a Warcraft 3 player.
Talented gaming family.
And they all did school at the same time too.
Maybe their dad was like a Unreal Tournament 92 player or something, whatever.
Pong champion.
I don't know that.
Pong champion.
Pong champion, Red Eye says to me over there, apparently.
I
don't know what game. I wasn't around that long ago. I am a very new school compared to people like Red Eye and Carmack. Carmack's the same.
Carmack. Yeah, that story about the IEM thing where he's like, I practiced 5 hours a day.
That was hilarious. Like, that was so
5
good.
hours every day. I slaved away.
I practiced for 3 weeks straight, 5 hours a day. And every StarCraft player nowadays is like, what? Carmack's probably listening to this as well. He's like, I hate you guys.
Those boys. Those boys.
All right. So we are just now waiting on the invites for map number 2. And map number, I've actually got the map order right here. I wrote it down. It is Overgrowth.
I like that map.
It's pretty good for Hellion Banshee again, really. I think around the right or left side of the Zerg, depending on which you spawn, is difficult to stop.
It's a solid map, and
Solid.
yeah.
I haven't heard that word in ages.
Really?
Yeah, solid. It's solid.
Like, I haven't been in England for a while, but I've always used solid. But yeah, it's a great map, and I think it's a very balanced map actually too. Like, it is one of those maps that you can also go mech on too, like very safely. Also, it's not like Frost where you get your 4 bases and then the Zerg gets the whole map and you're dead. You can actually get a very safe 4th base with the gold. Use that as a rally point, kind of like block off everything, just turret everything, and you can get 5th base at the back, the 6th base in the middle. Like, so yeah, we could see that from ForGG as well.
Interesting. He plays every style. He plays bio straight. He plays a mix of bio and mech, and he can just play mech.
And he can T-Rex.
And he can T-Rex, baby, the ultimate weapon. Yeah, he can really do anything.
This has turned into a very good T-Rex map too. Like the position that you used in Snoot, but you just go for 11-11 rather than like 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the path of an Overlord, and even if your Overlord does go that path, you're kind of in trouble. Just going to get shot down by Marines. He looks pretty happy.
I think he should be. This has been a great day for ForGG so far, especially because I think there were a lot of people who just weren't really expecting him to do very well today, and I'm quite sure he knows as well that this was a very hard group to enter. I've watched his stream and I've seen him get angry at Zerg players before.
Yeah.
So, and there are 2 fantastic Zerg players in here.
Yeah, but he's doing very well, and 2 very different Zerg players too. You got the Wild Bull, which is VortiX, does crazy stuff. Then you got the Snoot, the methodical Norwegian. But dealt with the Norwegian, now he's doing very well against the Spaniard.
All right.
He's got a very wide posture, by the way, for his mouse and keyboard, yeah.
It's because he used to row.
Okay, you intro first this time.
Okay. Up here, to the top right-hand side of the map Overgrowth, currently trailing 0-1. There's the red Zerg. It's VortiX.
That was good and informative.
Yeah, you know, I put a bit of effort into that one.
I'm just gonna go with this one. I can't rival you on this casting lark. But here, spawning the bottom left of Overgrowth, currently 1-0, looking to get out of this group, we have ForGG.
I like your own spin on that. That was good. You did put the right info out there too.
Well, I just copied you. You're my role model.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
I am older than you, so it does count.
Yeah, we found that out yesterday.
Yep, just by 2 years.
You're also Welsh.
It's not true.
Oh, I'm sick.
Yeah, I know. You couldn't laugh properly. It's okay. That was an interesting laugh. It's not a T-Rex. We can firstly point out.
CC first.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Given how well it went in game 1 against VortiX, would you go with the tried and true? Like, worked game 1, did it necessarily go as well as it could? Did something happen where he just like randomly killed 5 drones? Ooh, spawning pool first for VortiX, so he is kind of banking on a bit of a T-Rex here.
But
and VortiX is a counter build player, he really is.
He is, yes he is, that is true. The Wild Bull is definitely one of the reasons why he does these kind of things. Like
every series that I see of VortiX play, like, and I got to see a lot of them, in ZVZ you'd always see a 9 pool there. Always. Against Protoss you'd also see like 14-14, you go for like a quick kill. Like he does like that. He's kind of crazy, but you have to be on your toes when you play against a player like VortiX.
There's an opportunity depending on if he builds links and how many, there's an opportunity he can do something here.
Certainly. So which path is this SV taken and where is he off to?
That's a good question, Ben.
Because I've no clue.
It is an awkward way to scout the base of his opponent. It's a bit out the way.
Is this just going to be like a cheeky third? He's off hibernating somewhere. Maybe. I
guess we'll have to come back to him because a third doesn't line up for the time being, but definitely could be later. So only 2 links were built. So they shouldn't really be able to do anything here. I mean, SCVs alone could deal with these all right, especially now the barracks is almost done. So this is okay, but gas pretty fast here. And that was I was looking at that was a reactionary gas, Ben. Saw the CC, then put the gas down. So it's not like it was a part of his plan originally.
ForGG going for Marines this time. I like that. It's going to go for an early bunker. Upon seeing a Ling, he's going to know it's at least like 50. Oh, Roach Warren.
Yeah.
He wants to kill him.
He wants to end this fast. This will be, let's have a look at the gas. Maybe like 6, 7 roaches, maybe 8, you know, a bit delayed, the 8th and 9th maybe.
This is an insanely early Roach Warren. Like, normally with these Roach builds, you kind of try and attack him around the 7-minute mark with about 10 roaches, but this is insanely early.
It'll be roaches into drones. But yeah, this could do a lot here, especially if that bottom SCV for some reason... well, he's got stuck in a second gas.
Is it going to be a factory down there?
Oh.
That's kind of the only thing that
armory?
makes... if it is an armory, that's kind of a crazy location. Like, I'm just thinking of what purpose does that guy serve? He hasn't been mining minerals down there. Yeah. He's just kind of been inactive. And why send him out so early? I guess not to get scouted by that Overlord, but
interesting.
Still.
Interesting.
And is he totally blind here? He hasn't scouted anything.
No.
He really hasn't.
That's, if I remember correctly, that's definitely one of ForGG's weaknesses. He's not a big scouter.
Yeah. Like, even in TVP, he'll keep his Reaper around outside his base and just not scout with it, even not scouting with an SCV. But now we have roaches coming across the map, and what does he have to deal with it? He has a bunker with 2 Marines in. He's making a starport.
Can this be, do you reckon I'm still feeling Hellbats here. Maybe Medivac Hellbats here with the starport used as that? I mean...
I
don't know, man.
3rd CC going down now.
It's interesting.
Tech lab on the barracks.
There's 8 roaches out. The front door is 2 Marines and 2 Hellbats, an immediate switch up with the factory. And the factory's going to build a reactor here.
He sees the roaches now at least. So
okay,
he knows he's in trouble now.
Yeah, as much as we're trying to figure out ForGG's builds, he's also got to deal with 8 roaches and immediately pulls down a lot of SCVs, and a lot of SCVs are going to die.
But if he survives...
He's got a powerful counterpunch, that's for sure.
Certainly does. A Banshee on the way and Marauders.
Yeah.
Like, he is playing weird. It certainly is, but with a 3rd CC on the way, if he can get that established...
Good to escape from the Marines here that were doing damage from the bunker, and he gets behind the mineral line. 15 workers killed already. He's down to 21 SCVs.
Ugh, that's never a situation you want to put yourself in as a Terran, and he really did put himself in it. I mean, he hasn't gone beyond his ramp. He really hasn't.
And he just cancelled his 3rd as well.
Oh.
While this was going on, just cancelled that 3rd command center that was building. Not looking good right now for ForGG. He's down to 22 supply. He does have a Banshee on the way, about to pop. Cloak just started.
Like, it's 43 drones against 12 SCVs. You had to cancel your 3rd. I mean, at this point, if you're a VortiX, you can say, okay, I just kind of wandered a roach into that base. I saw Marauders. I saw no Hellions being made. Like, the safe play would be, hey, I'm just going to make some spores because I'm so far ahead in this game. But do we have any spores on the field yet?
No, he's just finishing up with a layer, though, so...
yeah, an Overseer will do the job. He's got a few queens out. 3 queens, making a Baneling nest now here, too.
Yeah, he's playing this quite safe at this point. Doesn't really know the follow-up, though, but the Marauders, like you said, is weird because they weren't reactionary Marauders. They were built already before the roaches were revealed, so it is very questionable why they were there. But the Banshees are being kept back, by the way. 2 of them are going to go at the same time. Very late into this game, and the Overlord spread's not bad, so... You know, on the right-hand side, they're going to pass an Overlord, which should give enough time to build an Overseer, pull the Queens up, so that's kind of the trump card of ForGG, just already eliminated, per se. I mean, there they go.
Oh, and there is an Overlord waiting for them. Spire on the way, but 22 harvests against 52. 3rd base is almost up for VortiX. Like, he has to do a lot of damage, and he does
didn't
cloak.
See the Banshee, though. He didn't see the Banshees. I was looking through his vision. He didn't spot them, so no spores are being made.
Wow, that was actually very smart cloaking when he did.
Yeah, didn't see them, and he still hasn't seen them, and they will only be seen once they have killed drones. So this is a decent recovery tool, but there's still a lot of recovering to be done.
Uh-oh. This is going to this is going to deal quite a bit of damage, actually. Immediately pulling drones, but... Yeah, this is one way to try and get back into the game, I suppose. Like,
I mean, 7 workers down already. 8, 9, 10, 11 should be.
He's definitely doing what he can. Like, I thought there was nothing he could do from the situation he was in, but he's making it happen, killing queens as well.
What is this push he's making behind as well?
Yeah, he's getting everything he can
He's
together.
getting tank Marines together back at home and more Banshees and SCV. He's not even... I don't even know what this is. He doesn't have stim. He doesn't have combat shields.
Whoa. There's no queens left. There's no queens left to deal with these Banshees. They're just dealing damage in the main base, in the natural.
Gosh.
Is he doing this?
Well, he's starting to pick off. I mean, he's up to 19 kills. The Mutalisks are about to pop.
And I mean, yeah, the Banshee in the natural dies, the Banshee in the main is going to die now,
But 22 odd kills, 22 kills. And this weird follow-up push is about to happen. Look at this weird tank marauder, non-stim combat shield, 2-tank push thing that's happening.
Yeah.
It's very unorthodox and very weird.
It's extremely unorthodox. Is that another Banshee in the top right there? Oh, Banshee to get picked off.
And he's building another one as well. 10 Banelings are being morphed. They do have Baneling speed here. Depending on the tank hits, they're going to crash into these Marines. So this is very important that he gets the tank hits off.
No stim for this little
yeah, no
band
stim, no
of
combat
misfits.
shields, nothing. It's a very weird push.
Yeah, like, I don't think he planned on this.
Yeah.
I think this is just a, hey, I've taken so much damage. How can I try and win?
There's 20 Lings that are about to pop out. They can wrap around here. The Banelings with speed.
1-1 just finished as well. That makes it a lot better. But yeah, VortiX should be able to clean this up, especially with ForGG running so deep on creep. And he hasn't revealed that he doesn't have stim yet or anything like that. So VortiX is just buying his time. And rightly so. You don't have to worry. Like, these Evo chambers, they're cheap. Make sure that you're building up an army. And 28 Lings now, 4 Banelings, 2 Mutas. Yeah, VortiX is doing the right thing here. He's just playing patient.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't
think he
be
knows
surprised if he just left after this army's dead. I mean, he's no third command center.
You see this come at you, and even in a real game, you're kind of scared. But here, his economy is ruined behind this. ForGG, he's up to 35 SPs, I suppose.
He scans a third, and that's a sign of defeat there.
GG.
As every turn player does, they're like, all right, time to scan and see what and how many drones you have.
See how dead you really are.
Yeah,
you know.
He saw he was dead, so.
Sometimes I like to just throw down a mana mule. Go out that way.
Scan, and then for everything else, you just mule his base, wait 5 seconds, then leave.
Yeah, or the mana clock, where it's like multiple scans on the same location. It's pretty cool too.
1-1.
I'm impressed with VortiX's composure that game. Like, he threw out something wild, which he's very much known for. Did it very well. Did a lot of damage, but also handled it very nicely. He didn't like overreact or anything. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna go behind your mineral line. I'm gonna deny mining. And ForGG, he played as blind as a blat. Oh, blind as a bat. A blat?
A blat.
Sounds like a cool word.
Yeah, I mean, it's a variation of an English bat.
Kind of, or it's like a hitting motion. Like, I can imagine In Control blatting somebody.
You could blat somebody. He's definitely splatted somebody before.
I
It's
think
been
so.
me, actually. I've gotten on his wrong side.
He punched Stefano.
Yeah.
Splattered him. In fact, you started that rumor, right?
Yeah, I did. Can't trust me, right?
Gosh.
Found that out this weekend. All right, so 1-1. We're going over to Frost next, which is, with Overgrowth, the most played map, or one behind Overgrowth in the most played map for WCS. VortiX taking his headset off and also is in arrears. Thinking there for a couple of seconds. And he's actually asking to get some water, so does want to take him over. But I think you described VortiX really well, like a wild boar, and
We've just changed the animal every time to describe it. It's something wild.
you know, he's a wild horse, and I completely agree that you think he's that wild pig because he's. It was perfectly described there. You know, he's reactionary. He will do something to give him a big lead. He's not afraid of doing that, and very different to Snoot. And he's a much difficult beast to tackle.
They're both insanely hard, but in very different ways. Like, if you don't scout what VortiX is doing, you really don't know what he's doing. Whereas if you don't scout Snoot, you kind of have a pretty damn good idea if you did your research and stuff. But even if you research VortiX, he'll do a different crazy build every time. So does that go for you? Of course it does. Like, you have to play pretty safe against VortiX.
All right, well, if you're just tuning us now, this is the 4th game of the day, and this is the winners match. We've switched the order for the round of 16 here in the WCS Europe Premier League, and we're about to see who goes through in first place on this very next map on Frost. And then after this, the loser will play in against Harston to decide who goes through in second. So 2 fantastic maps coming your way, or matches coming your way, and this will be the last time you see these 2 faces versus each other for now. Please, Mr. Baker.
I'll do the honors. Spawning over in the northeast side of Frost as our red Zerg, we have VortiX. Okay, Sean.
All right, and then down here is the blue Terran, as always. For Millennium, it's ForGG.
I like it when Americans cast VortiX because they always call him Vortex.
Yeah, they do say Vortex a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Vortex. It's high.
I wonder how VortiX feels about being called Vortex. Like, how do you feel about being called the Apollo?
Yeah, you know.
Which was my bad.
I don't care. I mean, if you joined Team Dignitas, would your name be the Muslim?
I guess it would be the Muslim. I don't think it sounds that cool.
No.
Maybe I'd
Imagine
have to change
Claris.
things up.
The Claris.
The Claris.
The Red Eye.
The Red Eye.
The Bling. It's the best tag.
The Bling sounds pretty cool.
See, like, you can get away with E.G. the Muslim. Like, sounds okay, but then, like, the Bling. You have to say Dignitas. You can't just, like, shorten it. I mean, I guess it's the same for any team that you just shorten it. Like, M. Like, VortiX. 4GG. Alright, so it's a Reaper opening from 4GG. 12 barracks, 12 gas.
And the pool first for 4GG. So, again, kind of, I guess, like last game, he went for the pool first and won anyway. And it's very safe. And he saw, like, 4GG had the advantage of, or I guess the advantage, it could be a disadvantage, but he played against Snoot and did a few 2-Raxes in his series, so that was really nice for him going into this series because you're always then scared of your opponent.
Yeah.
And VortiX playing a little scared here, a little wary.
And in all the recent Terran vs Zergs, there's been a lot at 2 barracks. I mean, if you think about the MMA Snoot show match the other day, there's like 2 in that, I think there was, and then at Home Story there was multiple 2-Rax games, so definitely come back into fashion a little bit, more so than it was the last 6 months.
Yeah, like for a while, Terrans did start struggling before the Hellbat patch. They started struggling with Zerg quite a bit, like creep spread, like how to deny Zergs getting onto 80 drones. It was very, very difficult, and one of the very easy ways and very quick answers is, hey, just don't let it happen. Don't let them get 20 drones.
You've
like
got
just
some
2-Rax
experience
them.
there, haven't you?
I have. I 2-Rax way too much. But since the Hellbat patch 2, there's been a lot of variations on builds that they can do. Like Zergs are definitely having a bit of a tougher time these days.
Unfortunately for VortiX, he's not going to scout early, but did catch the Reaper on the right-hand side by that Overlord. So knows he's playing against a Reaper expand, most likely here is the most common, of course. Would be very strange to see anything else. And he has chosen and elected to go without gas so far. So he is playing Queen Heavy.
Kind of just Rambo's in there into the natural. I guess he wants to scout the gases for sure, just to make sure he's not against anything too crazy, but does not get to see that top one just yet.
Oh, he hasn't really, unfortunately. A single gas from 4GG. He's actually missing the second gas if he was to be looking at doing something quite technical and aggressive. So it is looking like he's going to slap down that third, and there it is in the production tab. But the Reaper's going to go in.
Boom.
Ooh.
Oh, nice save on the drone. And this is 4GG all over. This is him going YOLO here.
Yeah, and he lost the Reaper, though, unfortunately. Did get a drone.
Never worth it, though.
Yeah.
Like, losing 1 Reaper with your follow-up where you get 6 Hellions and 2 Reapers.
Right.
You always use the Reapers to like tank the damage and then regenerate.
How many drones is it worth?
Losing a Reaper for?
Yeah.
3. 3.
Yeah.
I'd say 3. Anything less is just like, ugh.
Unfortunately, that ugh is right there. Gas is smartly there taking on the natural there for VortiX. Hides them away from the Reapers, so don't quite know. Might as well put them there. And also, I think it's a little bit to do with the waypointing of the drones. Once you get 16, you just waypoint all the way down to the natural and fill it up there, and just have fully optimal saturation in the main. But down here, third command center coming in: barracks, stim, Hellions. A regular setup. Are we seeing barracks or engineering base next? You think?
I'm gonna go with, because it's 4GG, he plays greedy. I'm gonna go with engineering base.
Oh, it's a Roach Warren.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
I hope, for his sake, I hope it's a few barracks, but we'll see. A reactor going down? What's that for? Oh, he's kind of switching things up. He's not making Hellions here. Whoa.
Oh, you've got 4 out. That was it. And then switched straight over to barracks.
Okay, that's very fortunate for him, given these against Roaches. But upon not seeing the third base, I guess that's a pretty good move to make.
I mean, he goes in, sees the wall, and checks the Roach Warren and Evos it. And it's a little bit weird, considering there's no third down. And Roaches are being brought out here, but do you think VortiX is a little bit worried? I mean, This is overly cautious, I think. I mean, 5 Roaches really going to get much done. There's no follow-up to this. No zerging speed, no bailing. There's no way to be aggressive, super aggressive with this. I mean, look at his vision. He's only just now got info from the main.
I mean,
it feels overly safe.
Is this going to be VortiX being cautious, or is this going to make ForGG cautious? The fact that he's getting melee upgrades behind this is very weird, but this is kind of like an old school build where you take your third very, very safely. I mean, drone saturation wise, he's up to 51, so he's by no means like owned himself with this. But this is the old school like 5 Roach expand where you just don't take damage.
Safe. Maybe expecting some form of hellbat timing or something that was new right now, especially the fact that cross position, he hasn't been able to get any info. He has hurt himself a little bit, not as you say extensively, but he could have had a higher drone count and probably been mining from that third by now.
Yeah, you're totally right. With the Hellbat things, like you have to be way more careful as a Zerg these days. Kind of getting a nice Hellion kill there, but also ForGG, the fact that he is so savage with his Hellions at just running them in.
Yeah.
This is a pretty open map, and maybe he's just lost one too many times to that kind of thing. Just said, no, screw it. We're not going to do that. And is he still droning like a madman? Like 9 drones on the way, so 64 against 46.
Yeah, it's becoming better and better for VortiX. Upgrades are kicking in now for ForGG 1-1 on the way. And he is going to go take his base, and it is going to be the more forward expansion of the 2 here, rather than sitting back. He will be pushing himself forward out in the middle. And, I mean, what are the things that ForGG is really thinking about now? He's seen a later third, he spotted the layer coming in with the Reaper sacrifice, and now he's about to take his third. What's his plans?
ForGG?
Yeah.
He's being rather ballsy by taking this third, but I guess he somehow knows that it's not going to be a ton of Roaches, because say if you went for Tefl style or any kind of Roach style, you could push and pressure and kill this third, or at least force it to lift, which sets you really far behind. But he's playing totally standard. Like, he's reading this very, very well. He's just going into the 5 barrack style, decent upgrades, keeping up, and yeah, he's handling himself very, very well, actually. He's not overreacting to the Roaches at all. He knows exactly what VortiX is doing.
Well, 8 Bailing's getting morphed in here for VortiX, anticipating a bit of a push out, and he is right, but it's not really a push out per se, it's a push drop. That makes sense.
A push drop.
A push drop. I just named that the push drop.
Ooh, is he going to see those medevacs with those? I think he did.
He caught it just the edge of
you see that blob of red just moving over to the right there, but now does he defend his 4th or the natural? He's kind of going for both. So nice movement by VortiX here.
Yeah, nice catch, nice pick up, and he should be able to defend this. The units do pop down. They do have 1-1 upgrades, so Bailing support will be necessary.
Oh, are we going to see some sick micro for ForGG? There's no Bailing speed yet, so getting off creep just makes them a bit bad.
Yeah, I agree. And there it is.
6 snipes by ForGG, so already this drop is doing a lot of damage here. Killing the Overseer too. Nice.
Yeah, this is good. Really good. I mean, even the guys is good. He's actually going to get onto the hatchery here. Does not want to lose that. And the units continue to do some damage and push back.
He's trading so well here. For like 1 Marine that died just there, killed 5 or 6. Oh, whoa. Trying to snipe these Banelings again here. A few Banelings go down, sees the mutas and gets out of there. So
very nice trade.
Yeah, he gets out of there at the perfect time. Doesn't take too much damage whatsoever.
Please say the armory's down. Yeah. Okay, so 2-2 just now starting.
That's not too bad. Oh, he's already finished his like 6th to 7th to 8th barracks actually, so he's really going to start going ham pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a lot of production right now. VortiX has been slowed down a little bit. He doesn't have the best of creep spreads, and it's about to get shortened again. But Bailing speed is done. 2-2 is on the way. So it's going to be all about these engagements from now on, and ForGG is setting up nicely. Here comes another scan.
Denying that creep spread is always vital, but this is kind of getting scary here for ForGG, given that 2-2 is so close to completion for VortiX. Once it is, he can kind of overwhelm this army.
Alright, well that's what he's going to have to hope for. It is a high supply count for ForGG. 2-2 not quite completed. He goes in seconds before it actually finishes, and then after retreats out, so...
He was a little eager there. He saw that ForGG was very far on creep, which is the sign for go. It's a sign for go, but just before your 2-2, don't waste it. And a few Banelings here die on that Marauder. Like, ForGG is playing really, really well here.
He is. Remember, this is a battle for first place in today's group. Which one will take it? It could be decided in the next minute or two as VortiX continues to hold on, but he's losing more and more creep. The Widow Mines are recharged and a couple of hits go down, and The Banelings are evaporating here, and ForGG ahead in supply again. He has Zone 2-2 incoming soon. Some target fire on these Banelings, please. Yes, sir. Some good headshots there from ForGG once again.
I tell you what, though, the supplies are staying unbelievably close here. Like, they haven't really changed from being 10 above the other one, so really nice play. At this point in time, VortiX has the upgrade lead, but that isn't going to last him forever. In fact, not long at all, so... You know, this pressure, I don't think it's going to stop from ForGG.
Yeah, and the creep spread's going back as well now, so it's not only the upgrades he's going to miss out on, but...
gaining ground.
Yeah, this is good stuff for ForGG here.
And a little supply block for VortiX here, and this is definitely not when you want it, when you have ForGG knocking at your front door.
Yeah, he's picked off a queen there too, and he's going to run away. Turns around, hits that Baneling, but does lose a little bit there. Neelist count's not incredibly high here, 18. It's okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, that was nice.
That's always nice. It was like a
double whammy.
A boomerang.
A boomerang.
Owning those double medevacs.
He's putting pressure on that Geyser. Of course, every little bit of gas is important for Zerkid to be able to build the correct counter Banelings and Mulus. But here he comes in, and that's a great spread off creep, so it's going to be hard to engage. And look at that.
Whoa.
The supply
ForGG
drops.
He handled that so well there. The Widowmine's connected very, very well. Oh, has he overcommitted here? I think he has. He is getting blown up by those Banelings.
Yeah, now we actually have first-person view, and 3 Banelings got really good connections. He's actually having to pick up a lot of these units there. He still has a lot of reinforcements, as you say, from all those barracks, and he definitely hurt himself a little bit, but he did get to the drones.
What's the drone count out there? 74
again.
against 65. It's not overwhelmingly great for VortiX, but this fight's getting really close here, and these mutas, they're starting to deal real damage here.
He started to take a supply lead, and he looked in good shape, and then 3 Banelings got more than their weight worth of damage done.
Yeah,
and then it changed again.
He kind of like sneaked on creep a little bit, and then bam, like he was trapped. There was nothing to like micro back to because there's a wall there, a big cliff, and VortiX took full advantage of ForGG just being a little too eager.
Yeah, and he's getting quite a few SCV kills here. The turrets are down. He's pulled ForGG back, which is allowing him to retake the fourth base properly with the Vespian Geyser back online. He can respread creep. He's given himself a breathing opportunity here. And to be honest, I mean, I say given himself a breathing opportunity. ForGG's given VortiX a breathing opportunity here.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where he felt that he did more damage than he did. He thought, I've got rid of all those Banelings, but no, not at all. VortiX that whole time, that whole fight, he was just producing Banelings constantly throughout it, which really put him in good state, as you can see.
It's 58 SCVs. He lost a couple there. He's going to lose a couple more. And there's no fourth command center. He's in trouble.
He certainly is. 54 SCVs against 75. I mean, their income's fairly similar. He's getting 3-3, but if he doesn't start winning pretty soon, and I mean, the fact that the creep hasn't been respread as quickly as, I'm not going to use the word it should have, but you have to make that a priority. Fighting on creep and not fighting on creep, they're two totally different battles.
All right, well, if VortiX destroys this army of ForGG, it's going to be incredibly difficult and slow to remake this army with the main base pretty much run out and no fourth. It's big. This is a big army for ForGG. He needs to keep alive and trade efficiently.
And VortiX is coming.
Yeah, he is. The Widowmines go off, and VortiX has a lot of Banelings. The spreads are pretty decent. There's still a lot of Banelings left. The left-hand side has been dealt with, and now it's about the south. And ForGG has been conquered in every single sense of the word there. He's been pushed back, and he's not rebuilding that army anytime soon.
He certainly isn't. And this muta count, the whole time, 25, just been constantly building. ForGG trying to micro whenever he can, burrowing Widowmines during the fight, but the mutas are on top of him. 100 supply against 160 of VortiX. VortiX, he's doing it, man. He started off this game with a pool first as well, so it wasn't that great for him economically.
I mean, ForGG must be kicking himself, absolutely kicking himself in the position that he, almost had this game with, and it's just turned around in an instant. Can't give a player an inch in the WCS as VortiX is going to come in for the kill now. This is a great position. He's looking at first place.
New Millennium against, I'm not going to use the word old Millennium, but it kind of is, and VortiX is playing exceptionally well.
Yep, debut for Millennium, and he grabs the first place in this group as he continues the onslaught, and VortiX, the Spaniard, snoots down in today's group, but VortiX continues to fight on and will achieve another top 8 finish at least.
Wow, great play by VortiX, and very happy with that.
Not bad.
Not bad face, not bad. But yeah, certainly he has to be proud with that because ForGG, that game in Alterzim, it looked a little worrisome for him, and even ForGG didn't look too displeased with that. Kind of gave him a little smile and a handshake.
ForGG must fight versus Harston in our next game to decide who will be second place.
I'm looking forward to that. Harston's been really good against Terran recently. Like, that was how he got here in the first place. And going up against ForGG, he is no slouch.
He's no slouch indeed. VortiX makes another top 8. Congratulations to him. And he is our first player out of all the 16 we have for the round of 16 to go through to the round of 8. And another round of 8 he does. That's a lot of them. 4 round of 8s. 4. Not 3. Not 5. But 4 round of 8 finishes from VortiX. Not bad at all. And he is almost ready to have his interview. And we will be having words with him very, very shortly. And, well, it makes the group interesting.
It certainly does.
Next game, for sure.
Certainly does. I think Harston definitely had more of a chance against ForGG than VortiX, given VortiX beat him. But, yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, let's head over to that winner's interview with Red Eye.
VortiX, congratulations. Yet another round of 8 appearance for you. 4 out of the 5 seasons now. You've managed to make the quarterfinals. How are you feeling right now?
Well, I would have liked it to be 4-0, just not to break the record. But yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, terrific game against ForGG. It was a much tougher game than maybe you thought, I guess, at the start. I don't know, maybe you thought it would be tough. But talk me through the first 2 maps.
Well, like before starting, I was like really scared because I haven't played versus him too much lately, and if you don't play versus him for like a while, he always changes his strategies and so on, and you get a bit confused. So on the first game, I don't know, I kind of thought I had everything controlled, but then I had a lot of Banshees, a lot of Hellions. I somehow lost all my Zerlings, then my Queens, and I was like, what the fuck, I will just all in now, I guess. It didn't work out, and it was very one-sided, I guess. And in the second game, I saw he was opening like really greedy again, fast command, no scout, so I went for like a Roach Warren, the same one I did versus Harston, second game. I got so many advantage, so even if he did some damage, after that it was already over, I think.
Yeah. And then third map, was there a point in that third map where you started to worry a little bit? Because it seemed like he had the game to lose.
Yeah, actually, there was a point where I was sure I would lose that game, because sometimes if you are standing on your 4th, when the Terran is attacking and you haven't got any creep at all, you will most likely die. But I don't know why, somehow his Widow Mines got like really bad hits, and I managed to win 2 engages that I shouldn't have won in normal circumstances.
So not only did you win, but turn around and face the camera for me. Turn around. No, turn around. Not only did he win, but he stole the shirt from his back as well.
What can I say?
Well done, congratulations. Great to see you go through the round of 8 again. I'm just sorry it had to be a team kill. The first time you play him in the same team and you have to play a team kill match, so that's tough.
Yeah, actually it's the second team kill. I think I had to play versus Mana when we both were in mouse. So I guess I'm really bad lucker. When Lucifron was active, I played versus him every single tournament, and now I only get team kills as well.
There it is, confirmed. VortiX, the team killer from Millennium, is through to the quarterfinals, though, the first man to reach the round of 8, and he's done it for the 4th time in 5 seasons. Terrific. We'll find out who joins him in next match that's up on WCS Europe here in Group A, because Harston goes up against the defeat of the last match, which is ForGG, for our final place of Group A. Don't go too far away. Quick break now, and when we come back, that match will be live.